What's up, you guys? This is Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. What we're going to talk about today is sex transmutation from the book Think and Grow Rich, written by Napoleon Hill. Now, this question was posed to me by one of my most awesome subscribers, and he asked me, can you just make a video about sex transmutation, because that chapter is confusing. And I completely agree. Like, I was wanting to read that book and so I did it for you guys. Well, not the whole book. I read the chapter today about sex transmutation, the 10th step to riches. And what's funny is that Napoleon Hill quotes in the book, sex transmutation is simple and easily explained. Now, if you've read that chapter, you know that he did a good job. Yes, that book is absolutely fantastic, but it's not specific, and he rambles on and on and on about different things. And so I'm just going to keep it very simple, very basic for you today, and I really believe it's going to make a difference for you in general if you've read the book, if you haven't read the book. Because Albert Einstein said, or I'm paraphrasing, that if you're able to take something that's complex and make it simple enough that a child can understand it, now that's genius. And that's what I'm going to try to do. So let's start with one of the quotes of Napoleon Hill. He says, "The desire for sex is the most powerful of all human desires." You think about the word desire, it is fundamental, just like I mentioned in yesterday's video, it is fundamental for humans and for our species. Desire creates motivation. Motivation produces action, and action is the only way that we can create a certain result that we want. So it's all connected together. And sex is the most powerful of all human desires. He continues, "There never has been and never will be a great leader lacking in this driving force of sex. In all of history, all great leaders have had that ability or that driving force. And they use that driving force to actually lead people to move towards their vision. And their vision wasn't sex. Their vision was something grander, something huge, something very often impossible. And it's done through their driving force for sex." Let's move on. "But," and I quote again, "in this age in which we live, intemperance, or in other words, lack of self-control, in habits of sex is common. This orgy of indulgence may account for the shortage of great leaders." End of quote. Now, you understand that this channel is made for you guys. This channel is made to create great leaders. And the only way to create a great leader is to be one yourself. And the only one way to actually become a great leader is, yes, first having that vision, but then also having focus and discipline to create that vision. You won't be able to achieve any worthwhile goal without focus. Follow one course until successful. So, now let's move on to the sex transmutation of things. "When driven by sex emotion, men become gifted with the superpower for action. But the mere possession of this energy is not sufficient to produce a genius." Right? So, like, if you look around in the world today, you see a lot of people having a lot of sex energy, obviously, and they do not put it to good use. They only use it in what Napoleon Hill says, "The energy must be transmuted from desire for physical contact." And that's basically what people are doing today. They are merely using sex and that emotion and that desire for sex as in order to express it physically. But what does Napoleon Hill says that you should use it for instead? The energy must be transmuted from desire for physical contact into some other form of desire and action before it will lift one to the status of genius. And he continues as an example, speaking about salespeople. Because salespeople has this form of enthusiasm, just like I have right now on day 39 of my semen retention. The salesman who knows how to take his mind off the subject of sex and direct it in his sales efforts, he's the one who is able to actually sell and to lead others to actually feel the emotions that he's feeling, and that motivates them to actually purchase what he is conveying to them. So, how do we do that? How can we actually transmute our sexual desires, which are our most powerful desires, into creating our vision and actually achieving it through focus and discipline? Well, let me tell you, sex emotion that comes from your sperm production is so powerful. And I put it into 3 different categories, or phases, if you will. The first category, or first phase, is you being uncontrollable, or your emotions being uncontrollable, or your sex desire being uncontrollable, lack of self-control. When you have a lack of self-control, your mind is scattered. It goes in all different places. You look at this woman, this woman, this woman, this woman, this woman as potentials. You look at, for example, you look at this business opportunity, but then there's someone else talking about this business opportunity, and then again someone else talking about this business opportunity. Your mind is scattered, and it's a habit. It's not just because of sex and your desire to mate with a lot of different women. It's also the fact that if your brain is used to being diversified, it's used to thinking about a lot of different issues and problems and goals that you want to achieve and accomplish. Let's take an example. There's a great video that I watched today about 4 entrepreneurs who altogether make $1.5 million per month in revenues. That's a video from a great YouTube channel called Graham Stephen. Go check it out. It's fantastic. And that video was explaining how one of the biggest reasons that people don't succeed in creating passive income or achieve any worthwhile goal is because that there are so many opportunities. And because there are so many different opportunities and people are making money in so many different ways, they end up not becoming successful at any of them because they give up too quickly because they think that the other business project is more effective or easier or it's going to give them results faster. But what's going to create results faster is actually by focusing on one of them and then taking it deep until you have massive amounts of skills, and then suddenly the world opens up to you and you succeed at a massive level. All of the guys that were in that room making that video had focused on their specific niche. One of them had focused on real estate, and then he created a YouTube channel about it. The only thing that they had in common was YouTube, by the way. He'd created a YouTube channel about it, became massive after 10 years of massive work and you know, making it happen. There was another guy who had affiliate marketing, and he had his YouTube channel make it like 10 times bigger than what he could have done if he only did affiliate marketing. Another one was Shopify and Facebook ads. And there was another guy, like, do you understand what I mean? Like, they each had their own different niche that they had massively successfully done. And because of that, they became massively successful. So that's how you succeed is by focusing. And your ejaculation is making you distracted and diversified, and it's creating a mental habit of diversification. So, that's the first phase, uncontrollable. The reason why it's uncontrollable is because of ejaculation and increased sperm production that is not needed, unnecessary. The next phase and next category is control. Once you've been uncontrolled or uncontrollable, you move on to the next phase of being controlled of yourself. Like you having self-control, you having mind control, you being able to shift your focus like steadily when it's needed. But most of the time you only think about one thing. And if it's sex, you lose. If it's business, if it's one specific goal, let's say for example $1 million in net worth, that's a fantastic goal. That will take you there if you think about it all the time and you take action towards it all the time. And if something else directs your focus, if it's important and it will help you to get those $1 million, fine. Then we'll steadily look at that and solve that problem right now. And then we immediately go back to what we're doing and creating our business. Being in control takes effort, but the effort is sperm retention. Sperm retention will massively help you to be focused because now you're developing a habit of mind control. And that habit of mind control will assist you to be focused and disciplined on the task at hand, on the one thing that you're supposed to be focused on. I have a friend of mine, fantastic friend, who has so many different projects, including academics, like school. He wants to finish his schooling. And the habit has come from his porn and masturbation issues. The habit of diversification, of having too many projects instead of having just one or maximum two, right? If you have a full-time job, that's fine in order to produce income right now, but then you must have that side hustle that will eventually give you more income than your full-time job, so you can only focus on that. If we can learn something from Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, in terms of business, it is his one-eyed focus for the last 25 years. For him, it's been Amazon, 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 Amazon. Like more than anything else, he's had massive laser focus, and look where he is today. That's an example of mind control. And the third phase, and the last phase of all of this, you were first uncontrollable because of your ejaculation and your diversification. Now you're actually able to control yourself, and you're able to focus on the task at hand and achieving your purposes and worthwhile goals. The next phase is absolutely amazing because now you're channeling your focus. You're channeling your energies, which means that when you come to that phase, don't skip the, number 2. When you eventually comes to the third stage of channeling your energies, that's when you can actually learn to use your sexual emotions to increase your brain frequency, if you like, to get in touch with infinite intelligence, as he explains in the book. That's a video for another time, but it's simply means that once you, I'll say, phase number 2 is about staying away from women and staying away from porn and staying away from any nudity at all. If you can do that, that's fantastic. Phase 3, I would say is when it's been a few years, you've accomplished some massive goals in terms of business and creating passive income that enables you to provide for a family. At that point in time, sex and being able to increase your sex emotion while channeling it and focusing it still on your worthwhile goals other than sex. You have sex sometimes, of course, and those amazing sessions will be amazing once you have your woman of your choice plus, and then you channel that emotion and make it more powerful so that it supercharges you towards action and towards achieving your goals. But that's advanced stuff that we don't need to talk about right now. What you need to be focused on is, how can I overcome my masturbation and porn issues? And that's what we've gone through days and days on end now. But it's so critical, it's so important, and get started. Anyway, I'm done for now. Just a quick update about what happened, with me. I'm at day 39 right now. I've had no nocturnal emissions for 39 days. Nothing. I'm even keel now. Easy. No erection for the last week since I haven't been with my wife, except for this morning. It was a small one. And I woke up today at 4:50. Lots and lots of energy, but I did go to bed at 9:10. That's a luxury that you can do when you're single. I love it. Anyway, I'm more fired up right now than I have been for years and years and years being apart from my wife. She's there in America. I'm here in Norway, but I absolutely love to be away from her. Of course, I'm going to love to actually, become part of her life again eventually. But I'm really fired up with what's happening right now. So, question for all of you guys who've actually stayed tuned all the way to the end here now. Do you want daily videos like I've been doing now for the past few months? Or do you want 3 times per week? Those 3 times might be more more complete in a sense. I'll probably spend a little bit more time on them if it's only 3 times per week. Or do you want daily reminders to keep you on track to achieve your goals by having this channel for 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes every day? Comment down below. Make sure you like and subscribe, please. All the things that you do on this channel, subscribing, liking, and commenting, it massively helps this channel and it massively helps the YouTube algorithm. So please, if you can do that, I'd highly appreciate it. And I'll see you again tomorrow.